What the? You know that strange. There are spirits. Actually, remind me the spiritual children for FNAF. Why?
Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town. If you're watching this on the day it came out, happy Halloween.
It's not
Today
Halloween.
I wanted to look at horror tropes
It's
and see if I could
Easter,
make
but
them modernize, because most horror tropes for both cinema and sort of ghost stories throughout the years are at least multiple decades old. In some cases, the tropes
eu tô gravando, desculpa.
like hundreds of years ago, so I thought it would
Tira isso. Mamãe, fantasminha.
interpretation to these very common sort of
Fantasma aqui, ó.
horror
Que é isso?
stories.
Ovo.
So first I wanted to start with the ghosts, because ghosts are really
Pensei que era
associated
comida,
with
doce.
you don't often see a modern ghost. Usually they have like Edwardian or Gothic or even like Victorian.
É Victorian. Ok. Sabe aquela história vitoriana que tem a casa moça lá de fantasma? Então, uma garota fantasma. É literalmente a nova cadáver, que também é um fantasma, né, mãe? A Aline me falou assim que... A Aline me falou assim que... A nova cadáver é um fantasma. A Aline falou assim que a nova cadáver é um fantasma. A Aline falou que a nova cadáver é um fantasma.
Ah, é?
Aham. Deu um arrepio, né? Espinha.
Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town. If you're watching this on the day it came out, happy Halloween. Today I wanted to look at horror tropes and see if I could make them modernized, because most horror tropes for both cinema and sort of ghost stories throughout the years are at least multiple decades old. In some cases, the tropes were sort of invented like hundreds of years ago, so I thought it would be really cool to try and take a modern reinterpretation to these very common sort of cliches that you see in horror stories. So first I wanted to start with the ghosts, because ghosts are really associated with old things. You don't often see a modern ghost. Usually they have like Edwardian or Gothic or even like Victorian outfits on, and they're always walking around with like a lantern swinging in their hands, and they're always in these super old houses. And I just thought how interesting it would be to have a ghost who has sort of modern clothing sensibilities, and instead of carrying a lantern, she has like her phone with her flashlight on, and she would haunt you by like sending you strange cryptic text messages or something, strange Snapchats that you can't like take screenshots of or something, I'm not sure. I just thought it would be really fun to start with that. Pretty simple concept here. When you take away all of the old stuff out of ghost design, it does start to feel like we're just sort of looking at a semi-transparent girl, which was kind of tricky, because I was like, this doesn't look very ghosty, but I guess that's because ghosts are so tied in with the concept of something being from another time, which is interesting because they weren't originally like that. Like in old school ghost stories, they were dressed contemporary, right? So I guess this is actually more authentic to what a ghost story would feel like back in the days where ghost stories were first being popularized. So I basically gave her some nice cool fashion. I gave her the like black hair with the like highlighted
Essa música
white
combinou, né, mãe?
popular right now, as well as just some very
Mãe, essa música
modern
combinou?
like sensibilities in her clothes. I gave her this little slip dress over the top that cinches in at the waist and is pretty short.
Mãe!
Obviously a far distance from
Mãe? Essa música combinou com o vídeo?
Watching this on the day it came out.
Combinou com o vídeo?
Quê?
Today I wanted to
Combinou
look
com o
at
vídeo?
horror tropes and see if I could make
A
them
música combinou
modernized,
com o vídeo?
because most horror tropes for both
Não,
cinema
não.
and sort of ghost stories throughout the
A
years
música
are at least
combinou com o
multiple
vídeo?
decades old. In some cases, the tropes were sort of invented like hundreds of years ago, so I thought it would be really cool to try and keep a modern reinterpretation to these very common sort of cliches that you see in horror stories. So first I wanted to start with the ghosts, because ghosts are really associated with old things. You don't often see a modern ghost. Usually they have like Edwardian or Gothic or even like Victorian outfits on, and they're always walking around with like a lantern swinging in their hands, and they're always in these super old houses, and I just thought how interesting it would be to have a ghost who has sort of modern clothing sensibilities, and instead of carrying a lantern, she has like her phone with her flashlight on, and she would haunt you by like sending you strange cryptic text messages or something, strange Snapchats and screenshots of or something, I'm not sure. I just thought it would be really fun to start with that. Pretty simple concept here. When you take away all of the old stuff out of ghost design, it does start to feel like we're just sort of looking at a semi-transparent girl, which was kind of tricky because I was like, this doesn't look very ghosty, but I guess that's because ghosts are so tied in with the concept of something being from another time, which is interesting because they weren't originally like that. Like in old school ghost stories, they were dressed contemporary, right? So I guess this is actually more authentic to what a ghost story would feel like back in the days where ghost stories were first being popularized. So I basically gave her some nice cool fashion. I gave her the like black hair with the like highlighted white accents that are getting kind of popular right now, as well as just some very modern like sensibilities of her clothes. I gave her this little like slip dress over the top that cinches in at the waist and is pretty short. Obviously a far distance from the piles and piles of clothing that a Victorian style ghost might wear. And I kind of wanted to make her look pretty cute and fun. I was really torn. I was thinking about doing a really scary video for Halloween, but I decided since I've done so many scary videos lately that for people who just want a spooky and fun video, that maybe I would try to go for that this time. And I basically just made sure to keep her skin tone looking very dead and pale and blue toned, so it's very clear that she's not alive.
Olha quem veio do... Como que chama? Cemitério. Dá medo?
Feiura, né? Ela é.
Corpinho
lindo, carinha de... And I just really like the idea of having all kinds of...
Aterrorizante.
But exclusively through electronics and your Wi-Fi, messing up your router and stuff. I just thought that would be really fun. To tell you the truth, I've actually seen a lot of horror movies that have tried to do a more technology-based modern ghost story, but for whatever reason they never seem to feel overly scary. I actually prefer when there is going to be like a modern tech-based scary story. I prefer it to be like, about the whole mythology about like red rooms and the deep web. That kind of stuff is like really fun for me. But I'd really like to see a modern ghost story that really digs deep into the classic haunted house concept, but in a very modern house with very modern tools. Next, I wanted to take a crack at werewolves. Now, werewolves have been kind of out of fashion lately, I've noticed. Like, I haven't seen a really scary werewolf movie in quite a while. And I think the last time I really remember them being a popular thing to talk about was during the Twilight era, so that's not very good. So I thought in order to make werewolves scary and feel modern, the first thing that came up in my head was to think about furries, because a werewolf is half man, half wolf. And when I think about half man, half wolf outside of the context of a werewolf, I think of a furry. Wolves are super popular for people's personas, and fursuits, I know for some people are kind of scary. Like, same thing with like character mascots at like Disney and stuff. Some people find that creepy. And additionally, masked killers are a super, super, super long-standing and beloved trope in all kinds of horror movies through the ages. So I thought this would be really perfect to have someone who's in a partial fursuit, only with the head and the paws on. And basically the ominousness of a unchanging face in a mask would carry through and make this feel like a real modern retelling of a werewolf. I hope all the furries watching are not offended at all. I don't mean any disrespect. I just think that this is the perfect modernization of the werewolf, and while I don't find furries or fursuits necessarily creepy, I do think with the right lighting and the right setup for a movie, I think it could work really, really well. So yeah, please don't be upset with me. I just thought it would be a cool idea. So I tried to make sort of a pretty generic fursuit head, and I tried to make it look freakier than the average one. I tried to make the eyes just look a little more like vacant and like maybe even kind of like poorly put together. And I obviously had to do a bit of some jam splatter. Um, and I tried to just make the body underneath look like a very like fit kind of person, a mystery man who looks very capable of being fast and frightening. Um, other than that, I mean, it's your basic masked killer. I just feel like the concept of like a person coming out of the shadows with a knife and you can't see their face is just so terrifying. I also thought it would be really fun since werewolves are usually so like naturally colored. They're usually like brown or black. For it to be these like bright colors that are popular in the first aid community, I just thought that could be scary too. It kind of reminded me of the bunny in Silent Hill. And there's like a costume in Dead by Daylight that Legion can wear, and it's like very scary, kind of like that. So like those were kind of all of my inspirations for this character design. I think it turned out pretty okay. I don't know if it counts fully as a werewolf. I guess within the concept of the character, the person would have to believe that they turn into a wolf for real, and that they have to like see for it to be true to the werewolf concept, because a lot of werewolf stories reveal that like the person is just basically crazy, and then other times it's like actually supernatural and they're turning half wolf, half man, and they can't help but attack people. I don't know. Werewolves are really interesting. I'd like for them to become popular again so we can sort of explore the trope more. Next up, I wanted to talk about the hillbilly killer trope. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. It's sort of popped in and out of fashion over the years, and it's also parodied really well in one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's a semi-serious semi-parody horror movie, and I highly recommend it. Basically, the hillbilly killer, I believe, is sort of based on the ominousness of going to a really small, really rural town. Usually it's like a group of teenagers or whatever, city slickers, or a family.
So wait a minute. They remind me puppet because puppets can help people. Because we are ghosts, you can just can help people. Ain't gonna fight each other. It's a number. Because come on, it's whatever. A bear help a man. That's the invitation for this story. Someone take this inspiration. Yes, because I don't you. This inspiration like Martian and Bear. The bear protected a child. That's not something that to me like crazy like that. I've seen some movies like, what the hell does people help this guy when came in and like spider movie? Help the children like, okay, hold on to the room, cause come on, why you haven't? Oh, this tricking, drinks, okay, trucks. Right, putting bad name on that. Kill you. Wait a minute. Someone able to help is actually the dolls. Actually, yeah, can be evil, but it can even help you. Sometimes. Says, what the hell can be evil or help you? Maleficent? Why doesn't it? Maleficent is good actually. Like her daughter. Yeah, they look like her daughter. She's good actually. Maybe she's cute. She's not better. item. Or give me like a horror series. Or give me some help. It's actually franchising for FNAF because of the puppets and actually the made for a horror series, but actually not kill people. They are help people. Actually, Freddy is crying. It's crying for children. You see children crying? A baby crying like This is not laughing. This is crying. In second one, I think I personally I hate children with that. Like my cousin dead for cancer. Keep you. You can watch Aquatic Girls. Yeah, Aquatic Girls can help people. They don't fight. They don't fight because come on, fighting is not for cats. Sure, but they can fight. Can use the power of love to help people. This is a concept for the tale. You can do love or LL with your power. Just any kind of just can help. The kids can help too. Like the kids for Chucky. Can go the old one. Charlie can help you. For what the fuck? So you can actually see like, oh, Lado's evil. Lado's on my bad side. But Lado can help you sometimes. Help you sometimes like we can catch a over now. Over like get a phone. Or something. No, she is a pretty she is a teenager. Well, actually no she too because come on. All teenagers know people. Actually, ninja dogs can fight, but can help people too. Like, doesn't mean can help people. The people can scare. Others can be scared, but children not can be scared. And actually, can never enjoy this. Oh, and actually, I have an idea. So actually have ideas. So and someone can be evil, but can help people. Look, like Paris can be evil, but she's but maybe behind the angry face have a sad story, like creepypasta. And then creepypasta have a sad story that begins. I love that I shouldn't have a sad stories. Like me apart, I think my partner that's fighting. Really.
And they end up in a like a road trip. They end up having to stop in a town that's like extremely small. There's very little like quote unquote civilization around. It's mostly just like a few families, and like law enforcement's obviously not going to be overly responsive. There's just not as much society around you to protect you, and I think that sort of anxiety built
on the house. Do you actually have to actually help you?
Whole concept of this like hillbilly killer. Oftentimes they're like cannibals. They usually use like pretty brutal weapons like chainsaws and mallets, and are very like blunt force trauma kind of killers. So I thought, okay, what's the modern version of this like isolated person? And like first I was gonna go for like the modern day hillbilly, but I ended up thinking that was like a little too safe or something. And I thought, what's really popular now is.
Wait, what the ma? You keep him safe? You a bear! Bear kill people. No. Bears not kill people. Bears is overprotective yourself. Why? But why? The children are so innocent.
Cottagecore. A lot of people are really fantasizing about going out and living this super idyllic life by themselves or just with their partner and their dog or whatever. And I think that kind of isolation has a similar sort of sense as the like hillbilly town or the hillbilly family who lives way out
Oh.
on the outskirts and like no one will hear you scream. Same could be true for the beautiful picnic spot that the cottagecore girls are living near and like no one else is around. It has that same sort of like isolationist like concept. So I thought like a cute picnic or cottagecore girl who also happens to be a chainsaw killer would be just the perfect modernization of the hillbilly killer concept.
The hillbilly kill. Helper? He doesn't game fights for Dara. Why? No, that gives me times so like Puppet and Zizzy. They are her girls, but they can help people. Why? Why? Okay, like Zizzy and the zebra and a puppet. Oh, marionette. Oh, Charlie. Can be helpers. But the children like, and I said, I want to not trust any kind of people. You play the game, you trust the only card that can help you. This is giving me a good nightmare. Don't trust anybody else. You are so loving friend. Open your eyes. Everyone else can help you. Every friend who can is toxic. You the person for Team Shadow like fantastic. Because never get her. Got the horn. Fuck. Oh, okay. This actually a good villain. Oh, see what's happening here, right? What the? Sabia que a Zizi de Pig, tia, ela é de um jogo meio aterrorizante, só que ela te ajuda, né, Helena?
Ah.
Quem que help you? E o Chacha Picnic Girl. Yes, he invited a picnic girl. Wait, picnic girl. No picnic girl, like big hats, the beautiful dress, but she can be joint dress. Picnic girl. Oh, zebra girl. I love Zizi, she's so cute.
Of course, I gave her a little chainsaw. Her picnic basket has an arm sticking out of it, so clearly she's not vegan, let's just say. And she has a little hydro flask as her blunt weapon of choice. I gave her the little straw, like sun hat, Miyazaki looking thing on her head. I just thought that would give her a nice silhouette, and of course I had to keep the plaid. You see so many hillbilly killers with like red plaid shirts, so I did a plaid dress for her. Some cute little cottagecore braids, and I tried to keep the color palette pretty warm while also having like some very cold shadows to make it look a little sketchier and spookier. And overall, I really ended up liking this concept. I think she turned out great. It almost kind of started to feel sort of midsummery. Midsummer was really interesting because I think they took a very like bold aesthetic. I know everyone talks about like horror in broad daylight, and of course Midsummer does a great job of that. So maybe we will start to see this popularity of going off and living by yourself in a cabin turning into something that's involved in horror. I always find that kind of thing, that like lightness, brightness, and prettiness being turned scary is always really interesting to me. So I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me.
Kalia the monsters, Kalia the monsters, Kalia the monsters.
It should be turned modern, or like how it would be if it was developed today. Just describe it. I'm very interested in that. I think it's something that's really fun to think about. And lastly, I hope you have a very fun and safe holiday. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much to my patrons, including Azariah Clausel, Frenchie Fruits, Noodles,